Podcasts on unctv.org are made possible through the financial contributions of viewers like you, who invite you to join them in supporting UNCTV.
Welcome to North Carolina Weekend. I'm Deborah Holt-Noel. Charlotte is celebrating its new Spring Festival of the Arts and a month-long celebration of Russian composer Peter Tchaikovsky's works. Julia Carpenter takes us along to an Opera Carolina performance and introduces us to a homegrown Dixie Diva.
We're just 2 hours away from Opera Carolina's presentation of Madama Butterfly here in the Blumenthal Performing Arts Center's Belk Theater in downtown Charlotte. Come join me as we go backstage to watch the singers prepare for this exceptional evening. The attention to detail is remarkable, but not unusual, as Opera Carolina collaborates with spectacular creative talents. Here, General Director and Principal Conductor, Maestro James Mina, prepares his orchestra for this much-beloved opera.
We have a pool of talent, some of it's homegrown. The old axiom that you had to go to New York or Europe to build a classical music career is not necessarily the case any longer, with availability of airports and quality teaching and opportunities to perform.
Opera Carolina is the oldest opera company in North Carolina. Started in 1948, it has extensive touring and educational outreach programs and is committed to using and developing North Carolina talent. Twice a year, they are recorded for a nationwide audience through participation in National Public Radio's World of Opera. Planning each season requires extensive work.
Whenever we do an opera, whether it's an unusual opera, a premiere for our community like the Eugene Onegin is, or whether it's a standard, a staple of the repertory like Madama Butterfly, we always try to infuse it with a level of creativity that is going to not just be excellent, but is going to be compelling for the audience. It's particularly important when we do traditional repertory, so that the person who is seeing La Traviata for the 10th time has something unique that they can, their experience then can be heightened by that performance. With Onegin, it's quite a different process because it's incumbent on us to be as true to the character of the piece as possible. This is the first time we've ever performed a Russian opera here at Opera Carolina in 63 years. And it is an iconic opera, if you will, not just because it's based on the Pushkin, but because it is one of the most accessible of Russian operas for English-speaking audiences. So it's very important that we do just a bang-up job on it and do Tchaikovsky proud, as it were.
One of opera's international superstars and one of North Carolina's very own is returning to perform in this production. And she and her husband are back here to live.
Well, I was born and reared in Thomasville, North Carolina, which is a very small town. When I grew up, we had one stoplight, and it's known for furniture. And now it's also known, hopefully, for the Dixie Diva, the home of the Dixie Diva. So big chairs and one opera diva. I never heard an opera on the radio as a child. I didn't know anything about opera except what I'd seen on Gilligan's Island or a pasta commercial. And I didn't have any passion for it or love for it, but I loved performing, dancing, cheerleading, singing in the choir, singing with my family in a quartet. And I went to Chapel Hill for undergrad because I loved the basketball team. And I auditioned for the choir for a 1-hour credit, and they heard me sing. I'd had no training. And within the hour of the first week of freshman year, I called my parents and said, I ain't gonna be no lawyer. I'm gonna be a singer. And the rest is history. It happened that quickly. It was my destiny.
110 performances at the Metropolitan Opera, sung with Pavarotti, Domingo, Flores, Giordani, Renee Fleming, and so many others. She sung Carmen 250 times worldwide and is honored in North Carolina's Hall of Fame.
But this is a role debut for me as Filipievna, the nurse, and I'm very excited about it. I love the music. It's Tchaikovsky. The orchestration is just breathtaking. I get lost in it sometimes and forget that I'm supposed to sing. And of course it's Russian, which for a girl that sounds like Gomer Pyle, that doesn't come naturally. I have to work at that.
This performance is not to be missed. Come experience the celebrated Opera Carolina and our very own opera star, Victoria Livengood, in Tchaikovsky's Eugene Onegin. For North Carolina Weekend and the Performing Arts, I'm Julia Carpenter.
Eugene Onegin, performed by Opera Carolina, runs March 17th, 22nd, and the 25th at the Belk Theater in Charlotte. For tickets and more information, give them a call at 704-372-1000 or go online to operacarolina.org.
Podcasts on unctv.org are made possible through the financial contributions of viewers like you, who invite you to join them in supporting UNC TV.